Okay, welcome to the end of the day. You can tell it's the same day because I'm wearing the same shirt. Lol. But it's day 22 to end of the day, and I'm gonna be frank. I didn't do much today. All right. Anyways, yeah, I didn't do much today. I went on a walk, did my cardio. I did it alone today. I realized it takes very long. It took me like an hour and a half to finish the whole circle. I've been out and about most of the day. I've actually been in and out of the house just constantly, cause my whole family is sick. They all have a fucking virus. Like they're just dying. Not like just a calm sick. Like they are dying. It's bad. Yeah. So I need to just. I'm literally the only one who's still kicking. Just cause I like to just leave the house. I don't want to be around here because I don't want to be sick. So I've been keeping up just by not being able to, not being here. So it's my job, my responsibility to get supplies, medicine, food, all that when they're not, because they are not active right now. They can't do anything. So I have not been doing much, but that's all right. It's currently 1:25. If you can see that. Um, Yeah, I like you feel like I work better in the day, in the morning. Like this morning when I made that video, bro. For that 1.5 hours I was working, I was going crazy. Like you should, if you could tell. I mean, if you could just see the amount of work I put in that hour and a half. Like my whole product thing was finished, bro. Now I just gotta add the copy. But like, damn, I put in mad work that 1 hour. And I was like. But like the chance of me doing that again, very, very, very low. Like I don't know. I woke up this morning. My laptop was left on all night, and so I woke up instantly. It was left on, and it had the fucking store open. It's a whole day, whole night. Woke up, was gonna turn it off, but I just went to work, bro. I just like my mind was just off. I was just going at it, bro. I just yeah. But so that's my day for today. Um, I'm going gym tomorrow, doing some legs, doing some cardio. My fitness is going well. I hope so. Uh, yeah, playing basketball on Thursday. It's looking good. It's looking good. What else? Let's just check my phone real quick. My fitness circle. It's great. Um, ah, the main point of today. I was watching Mrs. Eliza Tufala's video talking about some I can't lock in. And I wanted to point that out because it's very interesting to me. Because I know we've all had this feeling of not being able to lock in, and it ultimately ends with a bunch of guilt and regret. Like, oh, why didn't I just do this? Or why didn't I do this sooner? But it's really just like it's actually a bit like how do I explain this? It's just a bit shocking. Like when you think about it, like this shit is literally my key to success, and yet I still don't want to do the work. It's just all in here. There's nothing physically stopping you. I know there's nothing physically stopping Eliza to follow, but he won't do it. And it all comes down to just your psychological belief. Like you really gotta take care of that mental part before you start anything. And I mean you don't have to necessarily, but for the long road, you need to take care of that stuff, and you need to be aware of that stuff. It's like I understand the idea of action without thought, because in that sense you can just keep going and don't think about it too much. But if you're not aware of what you're actually doing it, if you're not aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it, it's just kind of action without purpose. And that ultimately, like 99% of the time, just leads to burnout or just leads nowhere. So it really starts with the way you know, perceive your, just the way you perceive it. So you need to really prioritize that mental awareness of it. Because without it, that's just what kind of leads you to crashing down. And a lot of people don't realize that. But yeah. So like when you really understand yourself and you understand like why you feel the way you do, how you feel the way you do, and then you understand how to react to the way you feel. Because if you didn't know, your feelings doesn't have to correlate to your actions or your thoughts. Just because you feel a certain way, you don't have to exist that way. You don't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. It will never have to be that way. You are not your emotions. You are not even your thoughts. And that just comes with a lack of presence in the present time. It's a lack of presence. I'm lucky yapping, but when when you lose sight of that presence, it's kind of like your mind's just drifting all these other different pathways. You're really thinking, what am I even doing this for? That's really the end. What am I doing this for? And so, when you start to prioritize your needs of purpose, because, oh, hold on, let's just go back a little. I'm lucky yapping. It's 1:30. I need to recuperate my thoughts. A lot of people do this kind of stuff. What I'm doing. They do it obviously for what? The goals. Let's think about the goals here. The common goals. Money. Freedom. Time. Like, they just want more time. Cars. Materialistic objects. And a lot of that is outer worldly, shit, which doesn't actually correlate to anything you value or anything that's meaningful. Sure, you can have a car. I would want a car. I want a nice car. But the point is that is not a goal I work towards. It's because that is meaningless in terms of the value. Like, it really doesn't matter to me, and it never will. Like, how can I explain this, bro? My mind's fucking blanking. I'm literally just thinking top of my head. Like, damn, it's an 8-minute video already. I'm not even done yet. This might be the longest video we've had. Like, when you attach the emotion to these outer worldly external things, it's really not purposeful, and it will never fulfill you ever. Just because it's not from within, and it's just the way that money as a goal. Like, you do this because you want money. You do all this e-com shit. You do all the trading because you want money. It's not that. It's just not consistent. Like, you will not be successful when all you think about is the end result. Because think about it. Anything you do in life, it all has purpose and meaning in everything you do. Like, and it's not just purpose because you have a reason to do it. It's like you actually have. It really resonates with your beliefs as a person and who you want to be or who you're trying to be. And when you, oh god, hold on, what was I saying about this? You reshape your personality by affirming behaviors you wish to have, in the sense that that's how you kind of reshape your mental to fit this lifestyle. Because to kind of have this lifestyle, you can't just have it from where you are right now. You have to change, because in doing something hard, that's already changed. So anything hard you attempt requires change, because obviously if it's hard, it's not new to you. I mean, it's not familiar to you. So it's obviously in the unknown. And with change is to, kind of accept the unknown and let it come forth. And so, like, when I want to lock in, let's talk about me now. The reason I do this, not for the money, not for the cars, not for the huzz, it's for the freedom and ambition in the time that I get as well. And it's easy for me to say that, but I think over the past 17 years of my life, it has taken exactly that long to develop it, which is the reason why I've only started now, when I didn't start all these other years ago. It's because I'm not going to use it as an excuse, and I definitely don't say it's a valid reason, but I've been taking the time ever since to discover myself, I'd say. Not in a weird way, pause, but to just really understand who I am, why am I the way I am, and, just developing, changing. Even change doesn't have to be, it's not always positive, it can be negative sometimes, but change is constant, change is the natural state of our human being. We're always changing, whether you like it or not. And I feel like to be successful, you have to change, because it's just not easy. It's, if anything, the hardest thing you could ever do, get rich. And so maybe the reason Eliza Tufala is not able to lock in is it's just, I know it does align with his beliefs, but the actions he takes as a person does not align with his beliefs, or the actions he takes as a person does not align with the beliefs and actions and the lifestyle that I would take to become successful. And so what I would say is to try and eliminate the actions you take right now and start trying to substitute them with actions you would take if you were successful. Like, you really have to warp your belief system and lifestyle around how a person who is successful in that trading space, how they do it. This sounds like generic stuff, but the reason these people can't lock in is because their own beliefs and their own behavior is still different in, like, the way that they haven't really changed or tried to substitute those new behaviors into their own life. So they're literally using these old, outdated, not working behaviors to try and create something in a new space, in a lifestyle that doesn't coexist with these behaviors. And that's not gonna happen. That's not possible. You cannot live the same way you do now and do something more with your life, because you have to change. If it's hard, you have to change for it. That's a guarantee. And so, yeah, that's what I think. I will not always. I'm not saying this just so I can put him down and try to put myself up, because it's something not everyone's gonna get right. You see the TikToks where it's just like, you were dedicated for 20 hours, 20 months, like every single day. Most of the time, that's bullshit, bro. It is not unlikely though. Like, people do really commit to stuff like that. That's really when they shape their whole life around it. When you give all your time and effort and all your identity, it's gonna consume you, and it will just be your whole life. And that just happens to be with a lot of things, negative and positive. It's just the people who are successful chose to take their whole life and let something positive consume them, as opposed to someone who let gooning and games and all that stuff consume them. It's the same process, just there's always a yin and yang, there's always a balance of the two. There's always an opposite, and there's always positive and negative. So it's really just how you use it. We all have the ability to change, and we all have the ability to lock in or to really shift something in our life. It's just in the way you let it consume you, or the things you let consume you. The things you let your energy to, the things you are mindful on, and the things you let just like into your life, because you can really, it's all about your perception. So I just want us to be clear. I am not the GOAT. I still struggle with procrastination. I actually did try to do some work at like 9 or 10, but yeah, I did procrastinate a little just cause I just didn't feel like opening up, or like I didn't feel like going on my thing. I opened up the site, opened up the store, the editor just left it there. So I always do struggle with it, and it's because it's not gonna always just be like a straight, like once you understand it, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's it. I'm gonna, like, you're not a robot. It's very human of us to, even though we understand it, we still tend to do it anyway, knowing the consequence, or like knowing and acknowledging we are doing something wrong, but we're not doing anything about it. And that could just stem from your lack of care for it, if you clearly don't care about it enough. But there are most other times where I'm literally like locked the fuck in, like I want this bad. But it's good that I don't try to push too hard to an extent where I'm putting all effort. Because I see, the thing is, when I understand about myself is that if I put a lot of effort and the outcome or result is not very profitable, I will tend to just give it up. And I'm not gonna let this identify me. I'm not gonna just say, yep, this is how I act, this is how it'll be for the rest of my life. Obviously, I can change that. I can change the way I perceive it. I can change the way it is, because it doesn't have to actually be who I am. And so, but it's just a thing that I'm able to acknowledge. That's low-key the first step in improving, is acknowledgement. And once you acknowledge it, then it's where it starts. That's literally step one. So, being able to acknowledge that you're kind of trolling right now, you're doing wrong, that's good. So, I don't really know what the takeaway of this is. I was lucky just thinking it through my thoughts. This wasn't planned. There's no connection to any of the things I just said. They just kind of come and go as thoughts. So, I'm going to try to conclude it though. Not being able to lock in, or wanting to lock in, just requires a shift in identity and belief. In that you cannot behave the same way or think the same way that you did in your previous state. Then in the future where so let's say you are successful. How am I fucking wording this, bro? The future you who's successful has this complete different mindset, complete different attitude, complete different behavior than the you that is now. So you gotta change something about that to become like that guy, because he's the GOAT and you're not. And you want to be like that guy, you gotta act like him. If you want to be him, act like him, bro. If you want to be a GOAT, act like a GOAT. The GOAT is not sitting on his ass all day. Once you change your beliefs, that's not just some like thing. Like, it's genuinely the way you see it, and it's rigid. It's stuck in your mind. Like, that is literally your thought process. It will rewire the whole way you think about things. Just the way that if you believe it in this perception, So that is not just some little thing. So changing your belief is quite hard, and I can't tell you how to do that. I could, but this would take an hour. But it's just discovering yourself, bro. Just understanding yourself. A lot of reflection, a lot of thinking. Might be if you have a lot of time. Even if you don't have time, you can always sit with yourself and just, let it take you. Let your thoughts take you. Let your boredom take you. See where it takes you. And then figure out if there's something wrong with it. But, I will say, not everyone will be successful. Because if they could, everyone would be successful. Not just because like they don't have the opportunity or the capability to. That's some cases, but some people are kind of just hardwired. I feel like we are all hardwired to a certain extent. Not on our emotions, but just sometimes how we are, like naturally. Primal instinct, I guess you could say that. Some of us are just hardwired to a certain way, where you could. Some people would even block out acknowledgement of their own. Like they'll block out accountability. They won't even take in what you have to say, because they are so stern on what they believe, and you really can't change that. Or at least it's very hard to, ethically. So I think just by rewriting your beliefs, it's not gonna solve your entire problem. I could say I have done a bit of that in my mental health and my psychology in terms of myself. But obviously, I'm not perfect. I'm actually nowhere near where I want to be. So, yeah, just by rewriting your identity, it will definitely help you in the long run. It takes a while if you're by yourself, especially like me. But, yeah, that's the step to locking in. It's not just like, you can't just switch on. It's not some switch. Like, you're not going to be like, okay, I'm going to lock in tomorrow. Because, like, eventually, honestly, people who do that, it's not going to work out. Nothing's going to change tomorrow as if it could today. And people say, why can't I, like, bring myself to do it today? Because your identity, your mind's not there. Your mind wants this, but your mind is also elsewhere. Your belief is elsewhere. Your values are elsewhere. Your values do not align with the lifestyle that you want to live. You should not listen to your wants. You should listen to, if anything, you should listen to your wants, and you should understand what the fuck, like why. Question everything. Question your whole mind. That is how you do it. This is a 22 fucking minute video. I don't even know if my other boys are gonna watch this, but if you do, shout out to you, bro. It lasted to follow. I don't even think you're gonna comprehend anything I even say. I don't even think I can comprehend what I just said. But yo, I want to see you be able to just put in more work. Don't worry at the time. I've been seeing that people always just try to. I guess working under pressure does work, but when you have such a long time span, like a goal, not a goal, but achieving something like this, getting rich. This doesn't just take you couldn't even put this in a time span, because this could take years. So yo, we're here for the long run. We're here for the long game. That's why it's a lot harder than thingy. And it's easy to show action without purpose. Like if you showed up every day, no matter what, it's hard to do that. You could show up every day for 7 days, but how long could you really keep it going? And that just depends on your beliefs. That just depends on who you are. And when you shift your belief to letting that thing, kind of just be a priority, it'll consume you. It's gonna open up, and you're gonna you're gonna see yourself try to coexist with it and align your values towards it, so that you can let it take you. So yeah, if you want it that badly, then yeah. And you may ask, how do I want it that badly? I just said, not everyone's gonna be rich. It's how it comes and goes. It's the way you see things. Because I said we're hardwired. I think we're hardwired just from our childhood and the environments you grew up in. They don't define you, but it does affect you. It will. Like anything. It doesn't have to be that way, but it will affect you. And it's the way that you perceive that and what you choose to do with the way it affects you. That is what defines you. That is the outcome, and that's all that matters. So, when you want to chase money and successfulness, the first thing you should, stop believing in is I want money, cause it's just materialistic. It's meaningless. It's purposeless, and you're just a little slave. Honestly, you're just a slave running around trying to catch a bag. It's not gonna work. You gotta align this stuff with who you are, and you gotta see it from an angle of, like, I don't want money, rather than I just trying to learn a skill. But the skill's so boring, you say? Then what I say to that is, don't want it enough. You don't have it in you to want it. And, yeah. I don't value money. I value the freedom and ambition and time that you get with a lot of money. So, yeah. I guess I can enjoy... No, I can't. Because I actually find myself being very sad when I don't have money. Because I want to do things. But money is the barrier between that. So, I want to do what I want to do. Because that's what everyone wants to do. Well, that's what everyone wants for themselves. They want to do what they want to do. And what I want to do requires money. So, I'm going to work towards getting money. So, yeah. That's my rant for today. You will probably never see another video like this long. Like, this is 26 minutes long. I don't know if anyone's going to watch this. But if you do, shout out you, bro. Thank you. Saranghe. I will see you guys on day 23. We're heading towards a month. It's looking good. Adios.